Hi, this is Gregory Giannakimo. Today's short video, I want to talk to you about your strategy for increasing sales. Now, some people would say, well, of course we want to increase sales. Most people would say this, and they're not wrong. Of course we want to increase sales. We need more top-line revenue. We need more sales so we can make more profit. That's obviously very true. However, what does it cost you to get those sales, and what are you willing to pay to get those sales? And here's where the strategy difference, because you're going to use a different tactic. For example, if you're trying to increase the bottom line revenue, the net profit, because maybe you're in a growth stage or it's a type of company that, I'll talk about this in a second, that you're not going to sell, then you want to maximize your net profit. So like, for example, if you were a coach or you did coaching where you're using your time, you want to maximize your profit. If you're selling courses and you're just starting your company in the early stages, then you'd want to maximize your profit. Right now you don't want to give up profit. You want to get to that certain base that you need to live on times 2 or 3. Then you can stabilize yourself and have a different tactic. Now, where there's a difference is a company, if you have a company that can be sold to another company, and then they then would use all their existing overhead and just absorb you, basically take your customers, then you want to maximize for top line revenue and the number of customers. Telecom is that way. Telecom, once you place a call, once you make the phone number, dial the phone number, you don't really care which company in the background. You know there's 20 companies. AT&T called me one time on my other telecom company, and they asked if we had any phone routes to Cuba. I said, well, matter of fact, we do, but we can only handle 20 calls at a time because Cuba is really hard to get calls through. And I said, well, why are you calling me? We're such a small company. You're AT&T. He said, well, as a buyer for AT&T, we always have 20 different options for every phone call. So they have 20 different providers for Cuba, 20 different providers for Toronto, 20, you get the point. So if you have that kind of company, then you can buy my customers and plug them into your system. You don't really need my accountant, you don't need my lawyer, you don't need my office, you don't even need my servers, you don't need all my support people, you have your own. So you cut out, typically speaking, 60% of all my overhead you cut out when you buy my company. So in that case, I want to maximize for top line revenue. Now when that doesn't work is if you're a coach. If you have a course that you're selling and a lot of your personality's into it, if it's a course where you are, kind of part of the course, you're the famous guy as part of the course, famous person giving the course, then it doesn't work that way, because I can't buy your company and get rid of you and absorb you all into the machine that I have. All the 57 employees I have, I can't cut your overhead down because I actually need you, and I'm going to need your special people that do your special thing. And so in that case, you're going to maximize for net profit. And that's true until a certain amount of time goes by and you have a number of courses out and you build a company brand name. Like, none of us really care if Martha Stewart is still making pots and pans. We just trust the name. The brand is there. Now, if she's giving a conference or something, we want to see her personally. But we don't really care if she designed that pots and pans. Or that skillet or the little things that you mix with. I don't understand the stuff in the kitchen, but the stuff you mix with and all that. We're going to trust that brand. So I would encourage you that even if you are a coach and even if you're doing courses, consider, after you get a few courses under your belt, if you get a little bit along and you're making a stabilized income, I'd consider that you would make a brand that's a company brand that doesn't depend on you, the person. I just saw a video last night, it might have been this morning or last night, it's really recent, where Russell Brunson said that he's deputizing 20 people to speak on his behalf. So instead of Russell having to go to Cincinnati and give a conference, then jump on a plane and fly to Miami, and jump on a plane and fly to who knows where, he's going to have 20 people giving his presentation in their words and mannerisms. And now he just multiplied himself by 20 people, and he only has to do guest appearances. And that's what you need to do when you're building a company. You need to make sure that everything's replicatable. I'm working with this CBD company and talking about their processes, and I'm like, you people are really smart, you're doing a great job, but you're going to do 5 times more business in the next 12 months. So you have to document all these processes. You can't just have it in your head. So scale for growth. If you're a product-based company, you pretty well need to concentrate on making the net profit for right now. If you're service-based or like a telecom, something that's somewhat intangible, you might want to aim, first you want to aim to make a steady profit, and after you have that kind of stabilized where you're making your whatever it is you need times 2, then I would say make a company brand out of it, go for the top line profit, and you'll be attractive to a larger company. I mean, lynda.com got sold to LinkedIn. They didn't really care as much about her profit as they did their top line revenue, because they're much more efficient. They're a big company, and so they can take her 2 million members a month and scale that out, and there's a lot of cross-selling and things they can do on that. So consider whether your company is a company that needs to necessarily focus on the net profit, or whether you might be an acquisition target in the future and you want to focus on net profit now to be stable, and then push and advertise and market and really go to the conferences if you have to, and really bring in that top line and get revenue and bring in and have a large roster of customers. A company that we had more than 40,000 customers. So if you were looking for an acquisition target, you were interested because there's 40,000 customers that might have taken $100 each. Maybe it was more than that to get those customers and put them in place, and discount for churn and everything. But once they're stabilized customers and been on the platform for more than 8 months, you can pretty well figure they're going to be there. And that's what the company was. That was the value of the company. That's how they priced the company. All right. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Direct contact me, and we'll work through them with you. All right. Thanks very much.